better now, I'm feeling like a savage. Tell my son I love him, for him I'ma make it happen. Now my dream's reality, not going back to. You say that you proud of me, I turn my back, you laughing.
Yeah, I just ran a checkup on myself. Some days I just have to check up on myself. I'm so icy, got that GG on my belt. Thank the Lord for my people and my health. Lost a lot, but I came out with no L's. Thank the Lord for my people and my health. And I'm fine as hell from my head down to my nails. My man tripping.
I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a terrific matchup on tap between the Atlanta Falcons and the Denver Broncos. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team. Brandon Godden.
Which we find for Colorado for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Atlanta Falcons and the Denver Broncos. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. They'll be under the command of the former Florida State Seminole, the #1 overall pick in 2015, Jameis Winston.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stay on an even keel. Doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
A loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Freeman. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The play results in a loss of 2 yards. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Here's Winston. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. That sack was by Isaiah Oliver from his cornerback.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Hey, stand off.
The former 2nd-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a gain of 16, 1st down Falcons.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Here now the offensive starters for Atlanta.
Out of the backfield is Joe Mixon, and he was a valuable commodity coming out of the University of Oklahoma because of his ability to be so versatile. Can run it inside with power, gets to the perimeter and can outrun people, catches the ball not only out of the backfield, but you can split him out just like he would be a receiver. And I think if he wanted to dedicate himself, he'd be...
There he goes, right side. And finally out of bounds all the way down at about the 2. It's a big play there for Atlanta. 46 yards. Catch number 100 for his career right there, and it's good enough to keep the chains moving. After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. Here's a run with Mixon. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. No gain there, and it's going to set up 2nd and goal.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Nixon trying to punch it in, and he will take it in for a Falcon touchdown. Joe Mixon, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. The point after is good. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Ready? Right, 25, behind. Check right, check right. Time right, time right. We got 4. We got 4. Let's go.
Winston now to throw on 1st down. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Dexter Lawrence. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets them back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up.
Ready?
5 men in the secondary now for the Falcons on 3rd down. Working out of the gun, Winston. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's not going to sniff the 1st down here. He stopped at the 25. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the 1st drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, you know, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
Play fake. Winston. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this 1st quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. The threat of a 2nd straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. From the gun, Winston. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
They can't stop us. They cannot.
For a rookie first-rounder, he's made a huge impact on this defense, but that tells me that they had a plan for him when they drafted him. Just turn him loose, do what you do best, go get the quarterback.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They'll be looking to duplicate that 1st drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
That one good for 33 and a 1st.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the 1st quarter.
Back to Mixon on 1st down. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And down right around the 37. Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Second quarter now, Falcon football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Mixon with a first down carry. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35. On second down, here's Mixon. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Joe Mixon with his second touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Falcons push further out in front. And always a good half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
And he is out of bounds here on the return. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. He'll take this from the 40 up to the 45 for a gain of 5.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
That one, a first down pickup of 8. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Winston, rush coming, and he's taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
On second down, it's Vaughn, and he is across midfield from 149 to the other 49, a gain of just 2. On third down, Winston. And Winston lost the football. And the Falcons grab it. 20. And this is going to be brought back. It's a scoop and score for the Falcon TD. This first half has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating them.
And when you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistakes, and taking it the other way and putting it in the end zone, that's a defense's dream. They're having that type of a game.
Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for this offensive unit. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Out comes Devontae Adams of the offense for their next drive. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? Second quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, we're just taking what the defense is giving us, but sometimes that's just not good enough. Sometimes you have to take what you want, and that means getting him the football.
Yeah, so far just a single catch in this game. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. A Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week. And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
An attempt at a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 15 yards, first down, Atlanta. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join, who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Atlanta. They'll run on first down. Mixon. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back first downs.
Well, we saw them there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run.
He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Carl Lawson able to record his 5th sack of the season. Now Jones.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
Throwing Jones. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Carl Lawson, and the Broncos are going to get the football back in great field position. Well, that, my friend, I guess is the definition of a head-scratcher. 4th and long, this stage of the game. What were they doing?
I just have to believe that he looked at the situation, still in the first half, decided there was a time to be aggressive. Now was it, because there's still time to make up for it if things don't go right. Of course, a lot of questions on this one, and look, I want to go for it as much as anyone.
But 4th and long?
Yeah, I don't think I would have there. That one seemed a little bit...
And Winston lost the football, and the Falcons grab it. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. He already had the 1 fumble loss, so now 2 fumbles lost here in this first half.
Not setting the pace the way that you want it done. I mean, here in the half, already twice the ball's come out and hit the turf. Got to find a way to take care of it. Otherwise, they may have to start thinking about maybe someone different at that position.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he'll just keep 2 hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. Now the Broncos going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. A nickel set defensively for the Broncos here on 3rd down. Jones now operating from the gun. The catch made by Miller. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Falcons going to use their third and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Hey, check Mike 57. Mike 57. Tackles.
Back to throw. Jones. Going deep this time for Miller. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tavon Young. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'd love to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
The Falcons back to receive. They've got the lead, and they'll get this football as the second half gets underway. This one fielded at the 5. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. So here are the Falcons to take over on offense. They lost 2 straight coming in, but good news for them right now. They've got the lead and the football.
57's the mic. Watch 57. 22 jet bomber. 22 jet bomber.
Mixon will get it to start the second half. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down. Now Joe Mixon.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On 2nd down now, Mixon. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 14 yards there and a Falcon first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Now Jones on 1st and 10. It's complete to Hopkins. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. That goes for a gain of 31.
57 to Mike. Strip the ball. General West. Topper. Check it out, read. Switch it. Come on, switch it. Sponge.
They'll give it to Mixon. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. Another try for Mixon. And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. Joe Mixon taking it in. And the Falcons push further out in front. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now. No question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. Yeah, what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, it's got him in the lead. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. 27 yards on the game there. After the penalty, here's Freeman. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. Winston now from the 50. Ebron caught left side. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 33.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense, and reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. From the 27th, Winston. The hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. On first down, it's Vaughn. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make second down pretty tough. On play action, Winston. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for third down. On 3rd and 1, here's Winston. Got a man, it's complete. Williams. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Max Williams. His first touchdown on the year. And the Broncos cut into that lead. Bullet good on the extra point. And it's now a 28-7 ball game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
They'll stay on the ground. Mixon again. "23 yards the pickup. There. With that run, double check my math. Yes, he has hit 8,000 career rushing yards.
And that's fantastic. That means he's now approaching the top 50 all-time rushers in NFL history. That means he just sped past Terrell Davis, who's in the Hall of Fame. And now he's just got to go ahead and be strong and run hard because he's chasing down Larry Zonka.
A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. They go with Perkins again. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
70, Indy.
There's Perkins on first down. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. A great effort there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Falcons push further out in front. The extra point up and good. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive,
And Winston lost the football. And the Falcons say they have it, they do.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15, a gain of 3.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Again, they go to Perkins. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. A great play there. With 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Falcons use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Point after, up and good. And the lead will swell by 1 more. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken in at the 1. Runs through the contact. And nothing but daylight ahead. Past the 20, 10, and all the way home for a Broncos score. That'll go down as a 99-yard kick return. And the Broncos are in for 6. Still down very big on the scoreboard, but a little feather in their cap here.
And it's a big-time play, and if you don't get energized after a kick return, well, then your team just doesn't have any spark. We'll find out if this is the start of a big comeback or just cosmetics as we go along.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. That's always puzzled me a little bit.
Now a first down run is going nowhere. He's going to be dropped in the backfield, a loss of 2. Now that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there, and now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 31-yard line. They have the nice cushion, and the Broncos get there and take him down. The job becomes twice as difficult now after the sack. It's 2nd and 20. Looking to throw. Jones. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. They run with Howard. Got some real estate inside the 30. With that last effort, he topples the 5,000-yard mark for his career.
And that doesn't place you among the absolute greats that have ever played the game, but it's a significant achievement and a very, very solid career.
And he's got him. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And they'll get this down to the 10. Some collective exhales over there on the sideline. A big pickup through the air on 4th down to bring up 1st and goal. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? And here he'll get it down to the... It Good job there defensively to stop him for a gain of just 4, and that'll bring up 4th and goal. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. And I guess not content to get another 3 here late. They'll try to add 6 more as they go on 4th and goal. Back to throw. Jones. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Justin Simmons. Well, they get a fourth quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, Doc. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Jameis to throw it. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Winston now. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. So now 3rd and 10. A big play to start the drive, but nothing since. Jameis again. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through, and that drops a deficit from 28 to 25. In the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point.
Tight dog.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he will find Ridley. That's complete.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Looking left sideline, it's complete. Give him 32 on the play. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
Now a nice play defensively on 1st down as this is knocked away and incomplete. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Jones, and he gets this one to Ridley complete. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. 2nd down pass play got him 8 yards. Now they've got a 3rd and a couple remaining. Looking to throw. Jones. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you could put yourself in jeopardy.
The Falcons going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this fourth quarter of play. Boy, nowhere to go at all on that 1st down run as they will get to him behind the line of scrimmage. Falcons going to use their 3rd and final timeout. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. On 2nd down, Perkins. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5. And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive. Back to throw. Jones. And give them another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
Is it okay if I break one of our rules, partner, which is to never call a game over until it's over? Because this certainly feels like it's over after that drive.
Yeah, that was spirit-crushing, wasn't it? And now you just kind of felt the air go out of the balloon.
Yeah, they were fighting so hard to stay in there, and they knew they had to stop them on that drive. But when they were unable to, I think you're exactly right. You could see them sag on their sideline, and I think this one might just be over.
Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Atlanta, they climb back to 500 now at 3 up and 3 down. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Broncos, the loss here will move them back to 5.